not even nitpick. I'm going to point out some things over the years that people have talked about. I might forget some things, but you guys got me. You guys are wrestling fans at the end of the day. So, why do I think the Montreal Screwjob is a walk, basically fake? Um, Easy. Number one, there's different types of stories about the event. I mean, about what happened. You hear Undertaker's side, you hear Shawn's side, you hear Triple H's side. You even hear about what is it, Bruce Pritchard's side, Vince's side. You even hear about this guy's side. What's his name? Hold on, he's right here. He's right under me actually from this video right here. Um, Cornette. Because look, when you watch the documentary of the Dark Side of the Ring, they never mention Jim when Jim Cornette and Vince and I think JR was there too. Jim Cornette even in that documentary, Jim Cornette pointed out that well, just screw him over or some shit like that, like he mentioned it or something like that. But then you get Triple H saying that hey, if he can't do business for himself, we do business for him. So there's plenty sides of the story here. So which one's true and which one's not? Over the years, we've been hearing different stories about this shit. It's like, oh no, we would just, we just forgot to mention it. It's like, motherfucker, no. Stick to the fucking story or something like that. You see? You see what I just said? Stick to the story. You guys got to know too that the television TV is a lie. What do you think it's called? Television. It tells lies to your vision. That's why they call it television. Guys, don't be stupid. Come on, don't be stupid. We're in 2023. If you don't know how to break words down and know the meaning of it, then you're lost. You're a lost cause. Seriously, you're a lost cause. You're a lost cause. You're more senile than Vince McMahon. Yep, I said that right now. Seriously, I don't even want to know you if you fucking don't see that shit. I say that right now. So, and then the other thing too is that when Bret Hart got injured of a concussion from Bill Goldberg, he gets a phone call from Vince in the hospital. Most people are like, yeah, but Vince said sorry and all that shit. Motherfucker, why did Bret Hart pick up the phone in the first place? If you really got fucked over by this man, why in the fuck you want to know anything about him? Hello? Some people might want to point out, oh, he didn't went to his Hall of Fame ceremony in WrestleMania 22 or some shit. And you don't have to go to the Hall of Fame. Look, the Hall of Fame is a joke. Let's just say that right now. The Hall of Fame is just there just to be there, to be quite honest with you. Look, some people that look at the Hall of Fame, some people don't even take that Hall of Fame seriously anymore. It doesn't matter if you recently put superstars that do take that Hall of Fame seriously, or people that look at that Hall of Fame and be like, yeah, those people deserve to be there. That way I can take it serious, For me, I'm just like, it's a nice little thing for the fans and for the wrestlers. That's really it. It's mostly just a respect for them from the past and all that shit. That's really it. That's really, really it. Moving on with the Montreal Screwjob. Another thing too with the Montreal Screwjob is that other wrestlers have been pointing out this is probably fake. Maybe they didn't thought about that at that time, but they thought of this as I thought of it. Over time, when you look back at it, they were like, this is probably fake. And I said the same thing too. Recently in my video when I talk about Stephanie McMahon being injured. This is the most fakest bullshit that I have ever saw. But the thing is too, some people might say that, yeah, hey, if it's fake, which it is, it's a fucking walk, guys. It's a walk. It is one of the best walks in WWE and wrestling history. It is. It really is. The heat that Shawn Michaels and Vince got is legendary. It would never be matched. It would never be matched. I agree. All right? I agree with myself. It would never be matched. You tell me, what is the most hated person in wrestling around that time. It was Shawn Michaels and Vince. And without that, you wouldn't got the whole Austin Mr. McMahon stuff. And also, you wouldn't have them beat WCW. There's also rumors that maybe Brett went to WCW on purpose to fuck WCW over. So Vince McMahon can get the top head. Now, was it a discussion between Brett and Vince McMahon? Who knows? Maybe it was Vince's plan and he was like, hey, Brett, it's over there. Now I could do this. Or maybe it was a plan all along by both men. We don't know. We don't know. But the fact of the matter is that this Montreal Screwjob stuff is so fishy, man. Each year and each minute it goes by and we look back at history of the Montreal Screwjob, we just keep looking at it like, it's fake, dude. It's totally fake. It's totally fucking fake. And look, I'm not gonna hate on the wrestlers. I'm not gonna hate on Vince. I'm not gonna hate on the people that made this into what it is. I'm not gonna hate on none of you guys for that. But the fact of the matter is, as wrestling fans, we need to come to the conclusion for ourselves to be like, this shit is fake. This shit is fake. Right? Just like when CM Punk was on stage and was going on the mic and shit like that, and they cut his mic off. Come on, guys. Again, going back, it's on television. Okay? I don't care what no one says. When you're on TV, everything's planned. Everything is a show. If you don't want that shit, then don't be on TV. All right? Seriously, I live close to an area. I can literally walk right there right now. It's not that far away. I live close to a place that upcoming superstars, like for kind of, I heard, what is it? I live close to an arena that people can train and eventually branch out to like go to WWE or some other wrestling promotion. I've heard that other wrestlers went there before. And I'm like, holy shit, this is like the breeding ground for a lot of wrestlers here. And I live really close to it. And if you never heard of the guy named Kevin, he used to be in WWE. Now he's a person that works there and has people that train in wrestling, you know? Some of them might not be in WWE, but, you know, sometimes you just need guys that are with you instead of just branching off anyways, because, you know, you need other people to, you know, become that person to eventually branch off, you know? Because that's how it is sometimes, you know? And I'm grateful that I do live right next to, technically, a wrestling Hall of Famer. I don't live right next to him, but the fact that he has a studio with arena and people can come in and everything like that, I could come in right now and start training as a wrestler if I wanted to. Or I could just come in and start like hitting the weight, stop lifting, you know, the weights and start hitting the you know, the thing that people use for boxing, the weight thing. I always forget what that is. But the punching bag shit, you can go in there and do that. You know? It's not a bad place to go, and maybe I might just visit there one day. And they usually have like a Halloween theme there. Like people go in and have like during the Halloween seasons, people go there and it's like a haunted house that they made it. It's separate from the arena, but still you can go there and it's like a Halloween stuff, which is cool. But the reason I mention that is because I bet you anything that those people right there know that the Montreal Screwjob is also a work. Again, going back, it's the best work ever. All right, guys, I want to say this right now. If you guys are so upset and so pissed off that people are saying that this is a work, why are you so upset? Why are you so upset? Seriously, you want it to be real so bad, right? I'm sorry, it's not. It's not. Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart maybe didn't like each other at first, but business is a business, right? You have to do what's right. What Triple H said, you need to do what's right for business. And what did Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart did in 1997 at Survivor Series? They did something that was good for business. Don't tell me that they did. Yes, they did. Okay? Vince became hot. Shawn Michaels became hot. Reasons why Stone Cold became what he was, because at that time when Bret did get screwed, the crowd was so pissed off that they became, because the crowd was transitioning. The crowd was eventually transitioning into that, you know, the 90s era, into that extreme, you know, that hardcore era, because the whole 80s stuff was dying off and people were growing in the mindset and they were like, you know what, this whole superhero eating vitamins thing and prayers, no one doesn't care about that shit. We want a normal guy like me and you that's out here kicking ass. And you know what? We got that. Stone Cold. You know? Now, is it possible that WWE was looking at the fan base and they were like, we need someone that's like them? Could be. But again, we don't know. We don't know. We can only speculate. The only thing we can know is that when we see the shit that's on the screen. Okay? Seriously. And the whole thing when Punk, remember when, I don't know why, I remember when Punk and Cena were being rivals and stuff like that, a lot of people kept saying that Cena or Punk hated each other. And I'm like, no, they don't. You can clearly see that they don't disown each other or don't like each other. Even Punk even said it on television too. But like I said, if you look at higher knowledge too, you got to think about. So is Punk actually lying or is he not? You see? You guys got to think too, more of that. But I'm most likely, it makes sense that Punk doesn't really hate Cena. Why would he? I mean, he says it. He even says the truth. I hate that you're the best, and you're not the best. And it's true. Cena knows he's not the best. He knows he's not the best. Still to this day, Cena in his head thinks that why the fuck am I right next to the Rock and Hulk Hogan and a Stone Cold Steve Austin? I don't deserve to be there. That's how he feels. Look at the whole thing with the Bray Wyatt storyline with that. And that was phenomenal, in my opinion. Phenomenal. It was great. It was great. This is how some of these wrestlers know what the fuck they're talking about and what the fuck's going on behind the scenes. All right? And then going back to Bret Hart comes back to fight Vince McMahon at WrestleMania 26. Some people don't like that match. That's fine. I enjoyed it because it was Bret Hart getting his comeuppance, and I knew Bret Hart was not going to flip around and do what he did. It's kind of loud, man. He was old, he was beaten, and he had a concussion too. Come on, guys. And a seizure. Guys, when you had all of those on top of you, do you expect Bret Hart to pull out a 5-star classic with Vince McMahon? I know Vince McMahon will bump and shit like that. He probably make Bret Hart look like $1 million. But I'm telling you right there, that storyline leading up to WrestleMania 26 was great. And the story alone in that match was great too. Match was but the storyline with that was good. And I'd rather have that than anything. I'd rather have the storyline be awesome than the storyline be shit and you got a good match, yes. But what was the point? The match is good, but you're not going to remember it mainly because the story is shit. Seriously. That's how I am. The wrestling could be phenomenal, but the story does not engage me. I'm not going to give a fuck about the match. I might say that was a good match. I wish the story was better, but that's only it. That's only it. And going back to the whole, Vince McMahon versus Bret Hart, why in the fuck, if he really got screwed over, why in the fuck would he came back? There's no reason for him to come back. If he really got screwed, listen to me. If you got screwed over, would you even think about coming back to a company or to say if your own family member screwed you over? Would you even talk to them or see them ever again? No, you wouldn't. Stop saying that you would. No, you wouldn't. Because if you say that you would, then you're stupid, in my opinion. Because then they're gonna take advantage of your fucking stupid ass. I'm dead serious. And it's not like WWE doesn't do that with some of their wrestlers. Some of their kind wrestlers are so, that think that they don't have a backbone, but they don't say shit. Because they do have a backbone, but if they say shit, mountains are gonna move and floods are gonna happen. That's why. I'm dead serious, right? That's why some nice wrestlers don't talk back the way they do, because they know they have that power to literally destroy anything that's around them with their voice. Why do you think people love The Rock? Why do you think people love John Cena and Austin? Their voice, man. Going back, Chris Jericho, CM Punk, Edge, Eddie Guerrero, Chris Benoit, all these people were good talkers in the mic, man. Undertaker. Roman Reigns wasn't a good talker, but look at him now. Hell yeah. Brock Lesnar wasn't a good talker. They gave him a chance to talk in the mic. I love him in the mic now because he's having fun. That's the Brock Lesnar I wanted. Him being on the mic, being like, yeah, yeah, whatever, and all of this shit, instead of just being this big brute guy. I don't mind that, but if he's going to talk in the mic, I want him to be like, like you could beat me, motherfucker. Fuck you. I'm Brock Lesnar. That is what I want. That I like that shit. Hell yeah, because that's exactly what you needed for a guy like that. You do. You do. That's just me. I know I'm going everywhere, but this has to be said sometimes, man. I need to get this out there. And the and the thing is too, going back, Bret Hart also got inducted to the Hall of Fame. If you got screwed over so many times, why in the fuck will you take any of these opportunities to come back if this company fucked you over? Oh, but you know, he must be doing it for the fans. For the fans. For the fans. Yeah, because Brock Lesnar's doing it for the fans. To be honest, I respect Brock Lesnar. If he's doing it for the money and people don't care about it, that's fine. That's your opinion. In my opinion, I'm all like, hey, you're Brock Lesnar, dude. You can literally do what the fuck you want. I don't give. If anyone says that, oh, he just cares about the money, I'd be like, well, no shit he does. He's Brock Lesnar. I don't blame the guy. If it was any other wrestler, I will fight him for it. But Brock Lesnar, I won't fight him for it. Why? Because he's Brock Lesnar. He understands. He knows the business. You know, he knows what makes money and what does not make money. So in that type of mindset, as a business person, why are you going to argue with that? I wouldn't argue with that at all whatsoever. That's just me. That's just me. So, and we all know this too. And you know how every time we get the hatred from some superstars and all that, and they use it for storylines like Edge versus Matt Hardy. Oh, but that shit was real. Going back to what I said, shit could be fake, man. Shit could just be rules. Shit could just happen so people can be fired up and then watch Raw or SmackDown the next night to see what will happen. Going back, look what happened with Matt. People shitted on WWE for saying that Matt Hardy didn't get nothing with Edge. What? Of course, because it's all work, guys. It's not real. It's not real. Stop believing these superstars saying that, oh no, yeah, we worked together and this was real and then this happened. You're really going to take something from the horse's mouth from a television. Going back to what I said. You can't be this stupid, guys. You can't be this stupid. This company is in the realm of entertainment and making money for entertainment. Okay? That's really what it is. Like I said before, remember that wrestling school that I mentioned? I even told them over there, if they want to be a real wrestling thing, they can't be on TV. You know how many people agreed with me on that shit? Even the guy that owns that place, Kevin, he agreed with me on that shit. He's like, oh yeah, if you want to be a real wrestler, a real wrestler in a real wrestling business, you don't be on TV. I'm like, thank you. Because if you're on TV, you're not a wrestling company anymore. You're an entertainment company at that point. Because you're on TV to do what? Entertain people. You're not going to different venues or people going to you to be entertained. All they have to do is just turn on the TV and that's it. I could watch a YouTube video of fucking backyard wrestling and that's it. Literally people that don't get paid killing each other. Freaking grabbing barbed wire, cutting their own friends and neighbors and fuck. It's crazy, dude. Crazy. I see comments sometimes that people be like, these people are crazy. Fucking crazy. You guys are not getting paid for this shit and you're killing yourselves. That's just the love people have with wrestling, dude. That's just the way it is. Do I respect that sometimes? Yes, I do. But at the same time, you shouldn't put your life so much at risk just because, oh, fuck it. You know? Seriously. Remember the whole story with this guy? Oh, I forgot his name, man. I don't want to get his New Jack. Remember with New Jack? And then he had to fight this he was in the indie scene, not indie scene. I think Indies, but remember when New Jack was fighting some big chubby dude from the state from like a fan, and then he cut him open. He's like, "Yo, I feel fucked up," and then a few months later he died, and then they try to get New Jack arrested and shit like that. You killed my son. That's my son. What are you doing? Ah! I'm just like, damn. Yo, man, that shit's crazy, man. That shit is crazy. Because I want to say this: people like New Jack and wrestlers that are like New Jack, they take this stuff very seriously. So if I said in a storyline, if I said "fuck you," basically, and it's a storyline, old timers like and older people like New Jack will look at that and be like, "Oh, you said fuck me? Okay, fuck you." You know, seriously. But you got to look at, because at the same time too, you got to look at the fact of how these superstars lived also before they went into wrestling, because that's how they make their, because that's how their psyche has become after that. You know, because look at Vince, look at Bret Hart, look at Shawn Michaels, look at the way they came up with. You know, they grew up and have different mindsets. Bret Hart grew up with his family. Shawn Michaels grew up too with his family, but then had troubles when he was growing up in WWE because he was like a rock star in a way. And then Vince didn't have a, he didn't grow up with his dad. Then eventually he did meet his dad, but he had problems with his mama, sexualized basically. And then over time that just fucked up his psyche because he didn't talk to no one about it. This is what happens when you don't talk to no one about your problems, man. I know I went everywhere on this shit, but sometimes it has to be said. The reason I'm pointing this out is because wrestling is a dangerous business. It is. Wrestling is a dangerous business. Okay? Some people like to think it's not. It is. Have you ever watched that show, Black Mirror? And they give a teenage girl like some apple juice. She drinks it, and all of a sudden, and she goes on stage and she's like, and everyone just looks at her and be like, "Yeah, maybe you should be a prostitute, 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 porn star, porn star," and then she becomes one. When I saw that in Black Mirror, that should have told you everything about how the porn industry is and how the TV industry is too. That's why a lot of people don't like to watch Black Mirror because they get scared of that shit. When I watch Black Mirror, I'm just like, it's so predictable to me. I can't even fucking watch it. I can't. Once the fucking opening happens, I'm like, this happens. And it does. That's not my fault. I just see it and I'm like, is this gonna happen? Oh, wait and see. It happens. And then my friend is like, how the fuck do you know that? You didn't even watch this shit. I'm like, I just know when things are coming. You can't hide this shit from me, man. That's why I mentioned the Montreal Screwjob. You can't hide this shit from me, man. You can't hide this shit. How long are you gonna hide this until WWE finally admits, oh yeah, that shit was a walk? When Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart are literally dead and Vince? Are we actually gonna get that? Them admitting that that shit was a walk? When are we gonna hear it from Triple H and Stephanie's kids? When Triple H and Stephanie are not around? I just want to point that out, man. Because you have people like Kevin Nash and 123 Kid. I'm going to call him by his original name, okay? Because that is a cool name. All right, X-Pac was pretty cool as 123 Kid. Hell yeah, I was a big fan of him as 123 Kid. You know. But when those people know and felt like it was a fucking walk, and they weren't even in that company around that time, but they are friends with Triple H and Shawn Michaels and Bret, and most likely a little bit with Vince because they work with them. But come on, man, when the closest people around the people that were part of the screw job look at it and be like, that was probably most likely a walk, because I hanged out with Bret and he acts like this, and then all of a sudden this happens and he didn't see that. Come on, man, it had to be walk. It had to be. And it's true. If you know someone is smart as fuck, and then all of a sudden this happens, you'd be like, dude, you You always had the foresight for this, but you didn't have the foresight for this? Bullshit. You're the smartest person I know, and you didn't have the foresight for that crap? Bullshit. Bull fucking crap. The reason that is because sometimes it sounds sus. It sounds, you smell that? I smell old gold. I smell shit. I smell smoke. And when there's smoke, there's fire. And the whole Montreal Screwjob shit, to be honest, that smoke is becoming very pitch black. It was gray. And, at first it was all white, then it became gray. Now it's all black, pitch black. Because that smoke is becoming more of a fire, and people are noticing, oh, this is probably a fake. This is probably a work. The best work in wrestling history, like I said. And it is. I'm not going to take nothing away from this company from that shit. All right? Seriously. But the reason I point this out is for the wrestling fans only. Because I know that, most likely the wrestlers in the company are not going to say stuff like that. Maybe outside the company, yes. But inside the company, they're either going to be like, shh, or just be like, you know? Something to think about. Something to think about. I'll bet you anything other wrestling promotions have probably talked about that, and they were like, oh yeah, it's fake. Oh yeah, it's real. Oh yeah, it's fake. Probably debates and speculations and all that shit, And then going back to what I said too, you hear stories from Jim Ross, from was it? I had to look at his fucking Cornette. I always forget his name. Sorry, Jim Cornette. But I enjoy hearing Jim Cornette, to be quite honest with you. Yeah, he knows that he knows he doesn't get the times or anything like that, and I respect the fuck out of that shit. When you have an old geezer saying that, yo, I'm out of touch, I don't get none of these people, but hey, if you can listen to me from how I grew up in my era and give you my knowledge, and you listening to it, hey, I probably did something right. And you know what? I don't mind that. I might not agree with everything that he says. Mostly, I probably don't agree at all with what he says sometimes. But when he has his experience and he has his knowledge, I'll be like, yo, he's not wrong. He's not wrong. Because this and that, A and B and C, because other people will see that and be like, oh, yeah, he's not wrong because, this wrestler pointed out, or this happened to this wrestler, or this happened to him, and this, because there's actually people that would tell you, yeah, that did happen. But, again, going back, when you hear the whole Montreal Screwjob stuff, you look at these people and you be like, who's telling the truth? Who's telling the truth? Who was in the room? Was it Jim Cornette, JR, and Vince? Or was it Vince, Shawn Michaels, Pat, and Vince, and JR? Like, how many, like, when you hear stuff like that, it's like, how many stories are you going to tell until people start realizing that this shit is fucking fake? Why you keep making new stories around this shit? And then people get confused. And then you're gonna have some people be like, look, this is what it is, the definitively here, let me give you a link to it. Don't give me a link to anything. Because at the end of the fucking goddamn day, this Montreal Screwjob stuff happened on live television. Like I said, I don't have to bring that out again. You guys know this shit. It's been 29 minutes in. You guys should get this by now. All right? You guys should be smart cookies at this point. It's 2023. All right? When you add 2 and 2, it's 4. When you add the 3, guess what? It's a 7. Cosmic number. You should know by now. All right? Seriously. You should know by now. This is why some people are actually scared of me. And I'm talking about mostly the government people because they don't want to fuck with me. They don't. It's funny because most people will be like, oh, whatever, government, this and that. You be scared of them. Motherfucker, the FBI came to my house and they were pussies. So you don't know shit. Kind of loud. I guarantee you this. If any FBI people came to these wrestlers, they'd be like shitting their pants.
But the Montreal Screwjob is one of the best things that has happened in wrestling history. Doesn't matter if it is fake, doesn't matter if it's real. It happened. And it made something for people to look at wrestling. Did it work? Of course it worked. Why do you think I said it was a work? Why do you think I said it was fake? It did what it needed to do. Put people, put butts in seats to continue on watching Raw or SmackDown or just WWE in general. And then watching the Monday Night Wars happen. Come on, guys. Come on. You can't be this stupid anymore. You can't be this naive. You guys gotta know what the fuck's up. So that's really it. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what you guys think down below. Do you feel that Montreal? Do you? At this point, you should think that the Montreal Screwjob is most likely fake. But we can all agree that it is the best work ever. It is. It is the best work ever made. And the fact that these people are still trying to keep it as a work is hilarious to me. Why? Because I'm all like, come on, man, the jig is up. The jig is up. Stop trying to be like, oh, no. Because sooner or later, all these old thoughts are going to die. And then it's just going to be you and me still saying that this shit was a walk. And then eventually, in the future, people will start saying, yeah, it is a walk. Because people are not going to be that dumb anymore, man. WWE can't fool us the way that they did back in the fucking 50s to the 90s. You can't do that anymore. All right? Seriously. The world has changed. The world has been different. And you can't do, I'm not saying you can't do what you did back then in Montreal. No, you can still do that. But I'm saying that people's mindsets are so different now that they look at things and they question more. For example, if a Montreal Screwjob happened this year, people will look at it and be like, who gives a fuck? Seriously. Because they all know that it's a show. They all know it's a storyline. So we will accept that, but we won't accept it back in 1997? Or look back at it and accept it? Like, look back at it from 2023 and go like, yeah, that shit was a walk. You know? Come on, man. You gotta understand the game that's being played here. I've said this before and I say it again. You gotta look at this shit. Well, that's it. I'll see you guys. Hey, if you disagree with me, that's fine. That is fine. But at least I want you to think about it. And hey, if you research more about this stuff and eventually you find out something about the truth about the Montreal Screwjob, guess what? I'll say this right now. You did your research and you are a better man, or a better person than any other person that decides not to research their shit. Right? That's the whole reason why I made this video to begin with. Because I research a lot of shit, including with the Chris Benoit and Eddie Guerrero stuff, and I'm just like, when there's smoke, there's fire. Something's fishy. And that's how I'm going to end this video.